Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Dialogue. I'm Taimur Shamil. Both Pakistan and China are working on a mega economic activity, which is China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Both countries have been striving for peace and stability in the region. Recently, Prime Minister Imran Khan, when he visited China, he talked about what Pakistan can learn from China and how both countries can collaborate and work for the betterment of the people in Pakistan as well as in China. He also said that he would like the Chinese groups, Chinese businessmen and businessmen from around the globe to come to Pakistan and see how conducive is the environment in Pakistan for international business. And we can now see that practically happening in Pakistan. We have the Whale Group, the WellCloud company of Chinese origin in Pakistan. It's a renowned big IT company which is now visiting Pakistan. There are officials in Pakistan. They are visiting Pakistan and they have seen the landscape, the business landscape in Pakistan. They would be spending approximately $70 million in Pakistan in the next 2-3 years. And they have been meeting Pakistani officials, Pakistani ministers as well. We are going to have a discussion with them on what WellCloud company, which is partner of Alibaba company, world's largest business company, and how would they transform the IT landscape in Pakistan. There is a huge potential in Pakistan, certainly, and Pakistan is now looking forward to transform the lives of Pakistani people through data and through information technology. This will help Pakistan in improving its economy, and also the WellCloud company is of the view that their investment in Pakistan can generate up to 10,000 plus jobs inside Pakistan. And this is exactly what Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, the ruling government, this is what at the moment Pakistan is looking for. We're going to have today a special discussion on the information technology, the data in Pakistan, and how we can use that data to improve the lives of Pakistani people, how we can generate more jobs for the people, how we can improve the health care sector, and also the business inside Pakistan. For that, we have our special guests in the studios. Let me introduce them. Our first guest is Umar Javed Ghani. He is South Asia Regional Director of a global advisory firm named Include, and he's an entrepreneur as well. Welcome to the show, Mr. Ghani.
Thank you.
Our second guest is Managing Director. He's Andy Nee,
yeah.
And he is Managing Director, Asia Pacific of WellCloud company. Welcome to the show, Mr. Nee.
Thank you.
Our third guest is the Group CMO of WellCloud, Mr. Fu Jianzhu.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Fu.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Ghani, starting with Pakistan and China, as I said earlier in my introduction, that both are working on this mega economic activity, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. There's huge potential in Pakistan. The way Prime Minister said when he was in China, you're looking at it, you're working in Pakistan, and we have our guest here now in Pakistan. How do you see the collaboration of business firms of Chinese origin and the Pakistani origin?
Yeah. We are at the cusp of this knowledge revolution, I call it. A lot of people call it industrial 4.0, fourth industrial wave. I believe they're doing a little bit of a disservice calling it industrial, because the industrial age is now pretty much finishing. And we got to really understand the key differences between the industrial and this knowledge age. The opportunities that this knowledge age is opening up, before we talk about that, we need to really understand that the needs of people in Pakistan across a lot of these sectors that we will be talking about today remain unserved. There's a big gap between demand and supply for services, may it be education, may it be health, may it be financial services. And ICT is a cross-cutting theme in today's day and age. What has happened in the last 300 years in the industrial age was that the world has progressed a lot, and Pakistan, unfortunately, has not been able to capitalize on those opportunities. However, we believe that today we have an opportunity to leapfrog in the future by leveraging the digital revolution, by riding this fourth wave. A lot of people call it the industrial wave. And we believe collaboration with our partners in China, who are very willing to transfer their technology, build the capacity of our people, is critical to exploiting this opportunity. In the industrial age, we could not really transfer the technology, build the capacity. But if we are able to do that in this age, at this particular point in time, I think that opens up many opportunities and many future doors for us.
Right. Yeah. Mr. Nay, since you're in Pakistan, I think this is your first time you're visiting Pakistan. Is this your first time, or you have been visiting earlier as well?
I think I visited Pakistan the first time in 2007.
Right.
At that time, we are a subsidiary of ZT Corporation. Yeah. At that moment, we supply the billing solution for PTCL. We start to provide the billing to PTCL from 2004. But for my personally, my first visit is happened 2007. So after that, we provide also service to CM Park. At that time, it's a Parktail. And we also provide service to TP.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And now 10, 11 years on, you are visiting Pakistan again.
Yeah.
How do you see the business landscape in Pakistan? Business opportunities and the way Pakistan is handling with the data and IT?
Yeah, this is an amazing country. That's why I keep visiting here. So you ask me whether my first visit to Pakistan. So I don't know how to answer because every year I visit here. So I can find the big opportunity in this amazing country. And especially for this year, for this new generation, new government, I can find how big vision they want to do the digital transformation, whether only for this government, for the whole life we can see the government vision. So we served for the local operators maybe previously for more than 10 years or 14 years. After Alibaba investors, what we can offer is more than traditional telecom business. We start to serve in we call brain, ET brain. They covered from e-commerce, payment to smart transportation, public security, everywhere we can give these applications.
Right. So, Mr. Jianzhu, talking about Well Company, WellCloud Company, tell us about the idea of WellCloud. What is WellCloud?
Actually, WellCloud, because we think there is previously we focus on the telecom business, but now we want to transfer to a data intelligence company. So Well actually is we think Well is the largest animal in the world, and they are smart. They can, they can have a big impact to the environment. So that is we think, and also we follow the naming terms from Alibaba. So all the subsidiaries, they have different animal names like Ant Finance for focus on the credit rating, scoring, and also for the micro payment, and also the Taimur B2B online business is a cat. So we follow that kind of.
And also that you're working in 80 other countries. WellCloud.
Yeah.
Working in a lot of other countries, and you collaborate with the government of all these countries, and you also collaborate with the businessmen over there.
Yeah, definitely. Because we have a large scope of customers globally. It's around 80 countries, 145 customers globally. So basically, they are big telecom operators in Netherlands, in France, and also in some other advanced countries. So also that is telecom operator is our major customer group, and also we have some governments as well serving. Yeah.
Right. We're going to continue our discussion on the IT sector in Pakistan, and since Pakistan and China are both collaborating on China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, both are exploring different avenues of business. We're going to continue our discussion on the idea of WellCloud and how different business models between Pakistan and China would transform the lives of people inside Pakistan. After this break, stay with us. Welcome back. This age is the digital age, and there's this digital revolution going on. Pakistan has huge data, and somehow that data is an untapped potential. We can use that data to improve the lives of the people in Pakistan. Smart cities concept. We can improve our agriculture for that matter, security for that matter. And there's so many things that this data can do. What is the future of information technology in Pakistan, and how the Chinese businessmen and the Pakistani businessmen are going to collaborate to make this whole idea of IT-based society a successful idea? Mr. Ghani, talking about this information technology, the business models, different business models in China and Pakistan, since we were talking about WellCloud, how do you think that both countries can understand each other's culture, business culture, and can benefit from that?
Interesting. So, you know, the Chinese miracle itself is a great learning experience for the world. How they've been able to fight poverty, how they've been able to serve the needs of their massive population. You know, and a lot of countries are trying to solve the same problem in today's day and age. And if you look at Pakistan, we are a 200+ million population, and you know, we have so many people who we've not been able to serve their needs. So we need to learn, number one, from the Chinese example, how they've been able to leverage digital technology and what has been their experience. And secondly, you know, I feel that it is very important for us to be able to build our skill set and transfer technology, create some kind of a platform which we are essentially trying to build under CPEC. And within CPEC, you know, information corridor is one of the key priority sectors that needs to be developed. And one way one could develop that is coming up, you know, in a collaborative model, creating joint stock companies between our startups, technology startups, and Chinese technology firms, and going out and serving the needs of people, may it be in health, may it be in education, may it be whatever. And you also talked about data. I mean, data is very important in today's day and age. Data is going to be used by corporates, by businesses, by policymakers. And the ability for you to be able to not only store data, but run analytics on that data and give evidence to the businesses and the policymakers based on which they can find out whether a particular intervention is delivering the impact that it was promising or intending to or not, or whether they need to change course. So it remains critical. The whole digital infrastructure, and then what you do with that digital infrastructure and the data that you are collecting is very important.
Now, this is very interesting, certainly. Mr. Nei, talking about this concept of using that data for the improvement of the people, of the society, how is that being used in China? How do you use that in China? And let's say, since you are working in another 80 countries almost, how your business has transformed the lives of people over there?
First, I can tell you one my real personal experience in China. 15 years back, when I first to apply for passport, I need to go to the migration office. I should stay there for at least 1 day to fill all this process for my passport. I should fill a lot of forms, and I should apply for the number, and I should wait there wholly 1 day. If there's people, a lot of people, maybe I need another day. But right now, for me, all this, if I need to renew my passport, I think only take me 10 to 15 minutes. All this thing can be done. And the most amazing part, no need for me to do anything, only for signature. Once I put my
card,
older passport there, they can recognize all my personal information. And I just need to sign my new, my signature and put a new, my photo. Then all done. So from my personal experience, time is much shorter than before, and all based on what? Data. Because for normal people, maybe you are not aware what happened behind there. But for the government, they all based on the e-government process. They collect the basic information of citizen, and they try to breach or different department. All this information will be transmitted by the data based on the behind the systems. So I think this kind of things can also happen in Pakistan. And I do believe this will happen.
Certainly, and I think this would benefit Pakistan, because the idea is to make things easier for the people. The example that you gave, that if somebody is spending a whole day at the passport office, and if he, compared to that, if he gets his work done in just 10-15 minutes, that would certainly you know, save on time and economy and all those things that are related to it.
This is very interesting point. You know, I'm currently evaluating the whole digitization of the National Bank of Pakistan, and that project itself was undertaken to enhance the user experience Initially the thought was to enhance the user experience of the BISP beneficiaries, the pensioners. They collect their payments from the government, and they have to go to National Bank and stand in line and wait a long time. I mean, the point is that banks, telecos, a lot of these companies, government through e-government has already begun these initiatives in Pakistan. Now the challenge lies to really take it to scale.
And that is exactly the point, Mr. Jianzhu, that utilizing that data is important. And what kind of model do you have? Let's say the WellCloud company. How are they going to collaborate and work with the Pakistani firms, Pakistani government for that matter, and businessmen?
Yeah, definitely. We believe that is the data will be the fuel to drive the future industry revolution, which means that is the industry means the different vertical industries, like the retail, like this the government service. So for us, what we are going to do is we use this data and to mine that and get the valuable information from the data to information to knowledge. So that is because there is a different process to get the real value from the data. That is what we can do. So data mining, let's say data mining. Another thing is based on the data we collected, and we are going to probably design new business models. Like in China government, there is some very popular business model as a PPP, private-public partnership. That is something that can also boost the digital, the social economy to develop, because the government does not need to invest a lot, but the private company can make the investment and to collaborate to bring the new innovative business models. As if you look at this, what is happening in China as well, let's say a lot of the sharing model that is also based on the data information, the change of the people's life. So that is what we can.
Certainly, and also that how reliable this whole system is. This is also a question, because when it comes to security of data, that is very important, because privacy and security of data is very important. How do you ensure the privacy of data?
Of course, that is the privacy from all countries is very sensitive. But we can start, let's say, from some industries, some factor like the energy. So does not have very much sensitive information from the citizens, and also we can use some technology to anonymize this data. And what we can do is just to mine the real value behind the data. Actually, we do not want to use the information of the private citizens.
Right. And since you are here in Pakistan, how was the response from the Pakistani businessmen and the officials that you have been meeting in Pakistan, in Islamabad for that matter? How was the response?
It's the first time for me to land in Pakistan. That I don't have that much to contact with the local, the industry, government.
Right. So, and hopefully this will continue certainly for the improvement of the people. Mr. Ghani, talking about this collaboration, we certainly need this data to be utilized for the people in terms of education, health, and let's say if we can utilize this thing. If somebody is going to a hospital, let's say, or anywhere, to a school perhaps, or to a restaurant for that matter, and you have a card with you, and I've seen recently that a lot of people have their Nadra cards, ID cards, and a chip on it. We are not utilizing that chip at the moment, but if we have the data of the people, we can just show the card, that chip, and we can go along well with the data that we have.
I mean, the applications are enormous. I mean, you start thinking about pretty much any sector. I'll give you an example. I mean, a lot of people go to pharmacy to buy medicine. If you have a central repository of this data coming in, who's buying which medicine, the government, the health ministry can quickly figure out what diseases, what epidemics are what hotspots are building up that they need to go after. I mean, you
can utilize that whole thing.
Absolutely, so well, absolutely. And another thing that I'd like to say here is that we are a country with a huge youth bulge, and we have over 100 million young people out there in colleges, schools, and young professionals out there, and there's a lot of work happening in supporting them. All kinds of interventions in kind of building their skill set, transferring technology, incubating them, accelerating them. Now the government needs to see what is working, what is not working. Yeah, and so one of the businesses that we have set up here is essentially a digital incubator.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's a digital incubator that allows all of our universities and every student in this country to have access to an incubation process. Not only that, it also allows us to monitor on a real-time basis who's doing what.
Yeah.
What are the problems they're facing?
Yeah.
Which challenges the government needs to focus on? How? And one of the key focuses of this current government is to support the youth. The youth policy is being formulated, the youth task force is going to be set up. And I think at the heart of this entire puzzle that we're trying to solve in this in Pakistan in today's government, in this government, is to really address this challenge. And digital technology is the solution.
Right, and Mr. Neen, you would be meeting a lot of entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs in Pakistan, and you are having a conference, WellCloud conference on 17th of this month, right?
Yeah.
And what would be the idea of that conference? Are you going to meet the young entrepreneurs and make people understand about the idea of WellCloud?
About this part, I can leave to Mr.
Right,
Fu.
sure.
So, actually, I'm organizing this event. So the idea is because we understand that the Pakistan government also want to know what is happening in the world, because they have some program, maybe Digital Pakistan program. They make some reports compared to other countries like Russia, Philippines, Saudi, even India, China. So what I understand, they want to some transformation sector by sector, like the education, transport, healthcare, something like that. So why we organize this event is just to say, so how technology is changing the government efficiency, how the technology can help the people to have a good experience in daily life, how the technology can improve the manufacturing, how the technology can change the retail. So all industries need the digitalization. So if you look at the 10 years back, the most valuable companies in the world is Walmart, like this car manufacturing company, GM, Toyota, the banking, and also the petrol companies, the oil company like this Shell, Total. So, but now these companies are replaced by this Google, Apple, Facebook, and Baidu, Alibaba. So these tech giants, they are changing the world. And also they can help the government to change the people's life.
Right.
So that is the idea why we say that technology change the people, change the society.
Right. And Mr. Nate, WellCloud company would be spending approximately $70 million in perhaps 2-3 years. That is what we have proposed, let's say. And people are of the view that you are going to generate perhaps 10,000 plus jobs inside Pakistan. How do you see that? How would you do that practically on the ground?
Yeah, because we think Pakistan is a big market with huge potential opportunities. Of course, we are contacting with a lot of customers now. So, but right now, maybe I cannot share too much details about these customers. But we do believe we will get some opportunities in the coming years. That's why we give this kind of figures. First, of course, we already set up our own company here. We will try to hire more local employees to support our business in here. I think in the coming years, maybe we will hire more than hundreds to thousands local employees. So this is why. Secondly, just we discussed about data, because data is a must, just like air, like water, like electronics. It will become necessary for every normal people. So we also think about to set up a local data center to supply all kinds of applications for our Pakistan people. This is second. For the third one, we are also looking forward to find more cooperation with local university. We or some new companies. We want to set up innovation center. We can set up join the team to do research about the local applications, local service for Pakistan peoples.
And that sounds fantastic, certainly. And if this happens, this certainly would change how universities are working at the moment and all that knowledge economy, Mr. Ghani, for that matter. A few days back, Prime Minister talked about ease of doing business inside Pakistan. As an entrepreneur, as a business person, how do you see this idea and this policy that we should create a conducive environment for the international businessmen in Pakistan, and now we have WellCloud company in Pakistan, and we expect that more business would be coming to Pakistan. Creating that kind of environment, how important is that, and are we on the right track? Are we heading in the right direction? How do you see it?
The more we talk about, the less it is. This is one of those critical bottlenecks that we have struggled to address. I mean, every government has come and tried to work on creating the enabling environment for business, improving the enabling environment for business. And I believe we jumped a few rankings recently through the efforts of Board of Investment. But I think we are really low in that category of ease of doing business, and a lot of work needs to be done. A lot of new businesses come here, they have to go to like numerous government departments so that your company is registered. They've got to go through all these processes.
That bureaucratic process primarily.
The bureaucratic process is very long, cumbersome, and it's very fragmented. All of that can be brought together. And fast-track support services can be given to new businesses, foreign investors coming into the country, and we need to attract them. We can do a good job in attracting them, and they come to Pakistan and they're not able to deal with this whole setup and getting the licenses and approvals, and so that becomes a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, and also that when Prime Minister said that he wants the people at the grassroots level to earn money and let them actually know how the economy improves, So once you let people at the grassroots level do business with international businessmen and create their own business, that is actually going to bring that kind of change that we are looking for in Pakistan. So that would be possible only through having a better bureaucratic system. That's your point, right?
Yeah, I mean, we need to, of course, the word bureaucratic is not a good word, right?
Okay,
we need to take out
but that is a reality, accept it or not, but right, okay.
Yeah. Businessmen don't like bureaucracy and the red tape, so we need to make it easy for them.
Right, right. Mr. Nia, talking about this whole concept of information technology, do you think that there is more that China and Pakistan can do together to bring actually an understanding of what IT is and what the potential of information technology is?
Yeah.
How do you see this thing in Pakistan and India, in Pakistan and China primarily?
Yeah, of course. First, I think China and Pakistan, we have long time friendship. I remember first time when I visited Pakistan, I talked to the local people. I don't know him. We met at the street. I said, we are brother. I said, we are friend. He said, no, we are brother. So I do believe China and Pakistan, we have the same background. Maybe we have different face, but in terms of the culture, in terms of the history, we are almost the same. I do believe what we have done, what we have made success in China, we do make it happen in Pakistan. And the most interesting thing is in terms of this data or new technology, there's almost no, bottleneck for every new player. Even this latest technology, we can use it in Europe, we can also use it in Asia.
That's correct.
So we are ready to bring this latest technology based on our successful experience in China to Pakistan.
Yeah. And just to add to that, I mean, I think the opportunity lies, yes, I mean, Pakistan is a big country and, a lot of work and business opportunities are now currently present and because of the gaps that we've been talking about. But the real opportunity, China's vision of One Belt, One Road, bringing 60 plus countries together. The culture of these 67 countries, Pakistan, is a country with a lot of youth, skills, English speaking. We can help the Chinese companies scale up their technology, building infrastructure, not just for Pakistan, but for those 60 plus countries. And as we build this information corridor along One Belt, One Road, our people benefit, yes, certainly by getting access to those services, but our businesses, which are collaborating with the Chinese companies to help them scale beyond Pakistan in these 68 countries and exporting our skill set and our youth, I think the amount of benefit we can generate by just riding this wave,
Yeah.
one belt, one road,
Certainly,
is enormous.
Enormous. Mr. Jiangju, since Mr. Nia was talking about culture,
Yes.
and the friendly environment in Pakistan,
Yeah.
especially for the Chinese businessmen. Culture certainly is important, but what is more important is the basic ingredient of having good business is trust. So Pakistani people, they trust their Chinese friends. And I hope that it is same the other way around, that the Chinese businessmen, they also trust the Pakistani people. How important it is to trust each other and also to work on improving relations.
Yeah, that is also the question we have met in other countries, but we think that this is not a problem during this bilateral relationship between China and Pakistan. So trust is one thing. Actually, another thing is the confidence. Confidence too,
right.
because we believe that technology has no border, right? So we can bring the new advanced technology to Pakistan, and also we can have some new innovative business model as well. That is something we can jointly work together
Right.
to push forward of this kind of the digitalization process.
Right, and right. Mr. Ghani, talking about this data and having a trust and confidence, as Mr. Jiangju said, that we need to have that confidence while we are doing business. We'll be having our data that would also be managed by the Chinese firms, right? Do we have a policy on it? Pakistan, do we have a policy on this, that how our data flows, let's say, and how we are going to make sure that our data, Pakistani data, is secure?
Yeah. So, well, you know, our IT policy is a bit old. Yes, the current government PTI had announced their own IT policy, but the Ministry of IT, needs to either come up with their new policy or adopt the policy that PTI had come up with. But the new policy is not very clear yet, what the new policy is. There is a task force that has been formulated recently, and that there were some changes recently also made to that task force. Now, what they come up with remains to be seen. But there needs to be a clear policy how we need to, be able to build this infrastructure that is needed to store data.
Yeah.
Without that infrastructure, you will not be able to store data, secure data. And then what you need to do on that data, the value-added services, applications, the knowledge, the information that you want to mine out of it, that comes later. So I think the IT policy is critical, but before that you talked about confidence, and I think this is critical for any
Trust
business.
and confidence, yeah.
Yeah, for any business, capital. I call it capital. Capital is very important. Without capital, you can't do business. But there are many different forms of capital. When you talk about capital, people think about capital as just the financial capital. Financial capital is just one pillar of it. But then there is intellectual capital. You may have financial capital, but you may not have the intellectual capital. Business may not work. And the third pillar, which is equally important, if not more, is the social or the trust capital. So you might have the intellectual capital and we might have the financial capital, but if I don't trust my friend here, we will continue to talk and talk, but we never be able to sign an agreement and work forward.
Right.
So all these three forms of capital are critical, and we are very fortunate to have partners who have the financial capital, who have the intellectual capital, and who call themselves our brothers.
Right.
So we do have the trust capital.
Certainly, and so Mr. Nia, we have Pakistan and China, all three kinds of capital. How do you see, what is the future of Pakistan-China collaboration and future of WellCloud company in Pakistan?
First of all, we are ready to do what I said, investment in here. I already explained our strategy in the coming years in Pakistan, and I hope Pakistan government can also give us some support when we try to introduce this new technology to this market. I do believe this is not only for the company profit view. We try to improve Pakistan citizens' life, and we try to improve citizens' satisfaction. So in terms of this view, I hope government can give us more support in terms of some tax, in terms of some policy can give us.
And certainly, I think that is also what government's vision is, that Prime Minister Imran Khan, he has been frequently talking about ease of doing business in Pakistan, and that's what Pakistan wants, and especially with the Chinese friends. That would be more than, I would say, welcome. Mr. Jianzhu, talking about this future of business between Pakistan and China, and especially WellCloud company, you will be having this conference on 17th of December this year. What are you looking forward to, and what would you be focusing on in this conference?
Actually, this is I think the largest summit in Pakistan for WellCloud since this rebranding. What we are going to do is just to make some inspiration of the people thinking that the technology definitely can help people. They are not monsters to destroy people. You should give confidence to that, to develop that. So these things will happen sooner or later. But why not? We do it soon as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Ghani, this exchange of ideas is very important. And let's say when we have international businessmen in Islamabad, in Lahore, Karachi, or anywhere in Pakistan, that is an opportunity for a lot of young entrepreneurs to learn from that business model and work and collaborate and generate some more interesting ideas. This conference and Chinese businessmen interacting with the young entrepreneurs, how do you see it?
I think it's fantastic. The more you do, the less it is. And I believe these conferences do a great job in connecting people. But we need to have we need to think beyond that. The engagement is not. This is not sustained engagement the way I define it. People come and meet, then they go back, a few people connect, and they try to do business together. We need to create some kind of a platform, a Sino-Pak platform, where there's a constant exchange of ideas. Chinese technology companies coming to Pakistan, Pakistani startups going to China, and maybe creating some kind of a digital interface where these, both sides can interact on a real-time basis. And all of that can be done digitally. Every time you have a conference, a lot of people flying in, just think about the impact you have on the environment in terms of fossil fuel that is being burnt, right? If you have a digital platform where people are connecting without having to, the money that you save, the environmental impact that you make, it's phenomenal. And it's real time, it's more sustained. So we need to think beyond just having one conference a year. We need to have more sustained. And we invite our friends to have, some kind of digital platform that would allow us to interact with our Chinese friends on a more regular basis.
Certainly. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for your time. Mr. Ghani, thank you for joining us. Mr. Nia, pleasure having you on the show. Mr. Jianzhu, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Pakistan and China are working on a mega economic activity, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. There's huge data that Pakistan has, and we can utilize that data. We can use that data for the improvement of lives in Pakistan. People can benefit from it. Government certainly has a policy for it, and now is the time that we execute it.